Hi, I'm Charlotte, 35 and thriving in marketing. I thought I had life all figured out until I met James. He swept me off my feet, and before I knew it, we were saying, I do. Wild, right? But then came the twist. James had a 12-year-old son, Tyler. Moving in with him was like walking into a minefield. I tried everything to bond with Tyler. Hey buddy, I made your favorite lasagna. I'd say, hoping for even a hint of a smile. But all I got were eye rolls and mumbled whatevers. It was like talking to a brick wall. One night, while helping him with homework, I said, let's tackle these fractions together. He slammed the book shut and snapped, I don't need your help, you're not my mom. I turned to James for support, but all I got was, just give him time. But time wasn't working. Tyler's attitude got worse. Messy room, missed curfews, constant backtalk. When I tried to lay down some ground rules, James would swoop in. Don't be so hard on him, Charlotte, he'd say, completely undermining me. It left me questioning everything. Was I the problem? I needed to vent, so I called my best friend, Olivia. Girl, you won't believe what Tyler did today, I began. Spill the tea, she replied. I poured out everything. The disrespect, James' lack of support, the mess we were in. After a pause, Olivia said, Charlotte, honey, these are red flags. Are you sure you're not in over your head? I hesitated. I love James, but this is rough. I buried myself in work, hoping things would settle at home. But it backfired. A few weeks later, my boss called me into his office. Charlotte, is everything okay? Your presentations have been off. I forced a smile and said, just a little stress, it won't happen again. But inside, I knew something had to change, fast. Then came the phone call. Charlotte speaking, I answered. It was Tyler's school. We need you to come in immediately, said his teacher. My stomach dropped. When I arrived, Miss Thompson's grim expression set off alarms. Tyler has made a serious accusation against you, she said. What? What are you talking about? I stammered. He claims you've been physically abusing him, she explained. My world spun. That's impossible. I would never. As Miss Thompson continued, Child Protective Services was mentioned. It felt like drowning. Tyler's lying. I protested. Just then, James rushed in. What's going on? He asked, confused. After hearing the situation, he turned to Tyler. Is this true? Tyler nodded, avoiding eye contact. When? James pressed. Last week, when you were at work? Tyler mumbled. That never happened. I shouted, my composure cracking. CPS arrived and a worker told me I needed to leave the family home during the investigation. Leave, but I didn't do anything. I pleaded, turning to James for support. Maybe it's for the best, Charlotte, just until this gets sorted out, he said quietly. His words were a slap in the face. In a daze, I packed a bag and called Olivia. Can I crash at your place? I'll explain everything when I get there. She welcomed me with open arms, and as soon as I stepped through her door, I broke down. Between sobs, I told her everything. That little brat, she spat, and James? How could he not defend you? I don't know what to do, Liv. My life's falling apart. First things first, we're getting you a lawyer, Olivia said firmly. I know just the person. The next day, we met with Sandra Davis, a sharp-eyed family attorney. This is a serious situation, Sandra said, but false accusations happen. We'll fight this. At work, things got worse. Whispers followed me everywhere. Did you hear Charlotte's been accused of beating her stepson? My colleagues murmured. Mark, a co-worker, approached me. Tough break, huh? Kids say the darndest things, he said with a smirk. He's lying, I said through gritted teeth. I didn't touch him. Mark backed off, raising his hands. Hey, where there's smoke. I wanted to scream but instead locked myself in the bathroom and called Olivia. I can't do this, Liv. Everyone thinks I'm a monster. You are strong, you are innocent, and we will get through this, Olivia said firmly. After hanging up, I caught my reflection in the mirror. I looked tired and scared, but there was something else, a spark of determination. I will not let this break me, I whispered. I will fight, and I will win. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of meetings with my lawyer, Sandra. We worked tirelessly to build my case. We need character witnesses, Sandra explained. Anyone who can vouch for your character and your relationship with Tyler. I nodded, thinking hard. My boss, Mr. Peterson, he's seen me interact with Tyler at company picnics. Mr. Peterson didn't hesitate when I called. Of course I'll testify, Charlotte. I see you with Tyler. You're nothing but patient and kind. His words brought tears to my eyes. Finally, someone believed in me. Sandra also arranged for a psychological evaluation. Dr. Ramirez was thorough, asking about everything, from my childhood to my relationship with James and my interactions with Tyler. After a few sessions, Dr. Ramirez concluded, I see no signs of abusive tendencies. In fact, you show a strong desire to nurture and protect. It was a small victory, but I take what I could get. Meanwhile, James had gone radio silent. When he did reach out, it was all about him. People are talking, Charlotte. This is affecting my business. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Your business? My entire life is falling apart. He hung up without responding. A few days later, Olivia called, her voice tight with anger. You won't believe what I just heard. What now? I sighed. I was at Starbucks and overheard James talking to some neighbors. He was bad-mouthing you, Charlotte. He said he should have known better than to marry someone he barely knew. The betrayal hit me like a punch to the gut. He said that? After everything I've done for him and Tyler. I'm so sorry, honey, Olivia said softly. You deserve better than this. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, a breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Miss Thompson, Tyler's teacher, requested an urgent meeting with Sandra and me. I've noticed some inconsistencies in Tyler's story, she began, looking uncomfortable. I did some digging, and this isn't the first time Tyler has made false accusations. My heart raced. What do you mean? Miss Thompson sighed. Last year, he accused a teacher of favoritism after he didn't get the lead role in the school play. It was investigated and found to be completely fabricated. Sandra leaned forward, her tone sharp. And you're just bringing this up now? Miss Thompson looked ashamed. I feel terrible. I should have checked his history more thoroughly before escalating things. I'm here to make it right. As the investigation deepened, more truths came to light. Tyler's school counselor revealed a pattern of manipulative behavior. Tyler often plays his dad and you against each other, the counselor explained. He shows signs of emotional neglect and creates drama to get attention. It all started to make sense, the tantrums, the lies, the manipulation. Tyler was crying out for help in the worst possible way. But the most shocking revelation came from Tyler's best friend, Kevin. In a moment of guilt, Kevin confessed to Sandra that Tyler had bragged about his plan. He said he was going to make up stories about his stepmom so his dad would kick her out, Kevin admitted. He said his dad always believes him and buys him stuff to make up for it. I felt a mix of anger and pity. Tyler had been hurting for so long, and James had been too blind to see it. As the truth unraveled, I thought back to all the red flags I had ignored. The way James would dismiss Tyler's bad behavior, the expensive gifts that followed every tantrum. I should have seen it, I told Olivia over coffee. I was so focused on making it work, I missed what was really going on. Olivia squeezed my hand. You can't blame yourself. You were trying to be a good wife and stepmom. I nodded, a plan forming in my mind. You're right, but now it's time to start fighting for myself. The day the case was officially dropped should have felt like a victory, but it was bittersweet. My name was cleared, but the damage was done. I couldn't go back to that house, to James and Tyler. It wasn't home anymore. I met with Sandra to discuss the next steps. I want a divorce, I said, my voice steadier than I felt. Sandra nodded, unsurprised. We'll cite James's lack of support and Tyler's false accusations. It should be straightforward. Straightforward maybe, but not easy. Every signature on those papers felt like I was closing a chapter of my life I'd never get back. At work, I threw myself into every project that came my way. During my review, Mr. Peterson said, Charlotte, your performance these past few months has been exceptional. I'm promoting you to Senior Marketing Director. I nearly fell out of my chair. Thank you, sir. I don't know what to say. He smiled. There's more. The position is in our New York office. A fresh start, if you want it. I didn't even hesitate. I'll take it. As I packed up my life, Olivia helped, filling me in on the local gossip. James is having a rough time, she said. Lost a bunch of clients when the truth came out, and Tyler got suspended for bullying. I felt a twinge of, not quite sympathy, but something close. I hope they get help, I said, surprising myself. They both need it. New York was everything I needed. New job, new apartment, new me. I even started volunteering at a youth center, mentoring kids from troubled homes. It felt good to use my experience to help others. 2 years flew by. One afternoon, as I reviewed quarterly reports, my assistant brought in a letter. The return address made my heart skip. Tyler's old school. Inside was a note from Miss Thompson. Dear Charlotte, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing to inform you that Tyler has been caught in a serious lie at his new school. He's facing expulsion. James has reached out for help, but I thought you should know. Sincerely, Miss Thompson. I sat back, a whirlwind of emotions hitting me. Part of me wanted to laugh at the irony. Another part ached for the troubled kid I tried so hard to help. You okay, boss? My assistant Jen asked. You look like you've seen a ghost. I smiled, folding the letter. Just a blast from the past. Nothing to worry about. That night, as I got ready for my date with Michael, a kind, understanding man I'd met through my volunteer work, I thought about how far I'd come. 2 years ago, I was fighting to prove my innocence. Now, I was thriving in a job I loved, helping kids who needed it, and dating someone who respected me. As Michael and I walked to dinner hand in hand, I realized something. I was happy, truly, genuinely happy. What are you smiling about? Michael asked, squeezing my hand. I looked up at the New York skyline, my adopted home. Just thinking about how sometimes the worst things that happen to us lead us to the best places. He nodded, understanding in his eyes. Well, I'm glad whatever happened led you here. Me too, I thought. I had survived, I had thrived, and I had found happiness. Meanwhile, those who'd wronged me were facing the consequences of their actions. It wasn't about revenge, it was about justice. And the best revenge was living well. As we entered the restaurant, I made a decision. That letter. I wasn't going to respond. That chapter of my life was closed. I had a new story to write, and I couldn't wait to see how it would unfold. The story ends here, but the conversation is just beginning. What would you have done in Charlotte's shoes when you received that letter about Tyler 2 years later? Would you have responded, offering help despite the pain he caused? Or would you have kept that chapter firmly closed? Your experiences shape your perspective, and we'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop your answer in the comments below and let's get a discussion going. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.